The Unhappy Hour on the new AmericanMedia.com.
All right, everybody, we are back with Zak Baris. If you missed us in post-production, if you're listening on YouTube or checking this out after the fact on Twitter or Facebook, whatever, there's a first part of the show where we talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs and the NBA in general. So check out that show and follow Zak on Twitter. He's at ZBaris. That's Z-B-A-R-I-S. All right, Zak, what I was hinting toward a second ago in real time, Johnny Manziel has been cut by the Cleveland Browns, and not only that, he has cleared waivers. No other team has picked him up. He's facing a potential grand jury investigation in Texas. Let's talk about the end of the Johnny Manziel era. What have we learned?
He's an alcoholic. He's a drunk. He beats his girlfriend. Do you want me to keep going?
We could, but you know what I was thinking of, Zak? I remember when you told me, what was it, about a year ago? It was on one of our shows, and you said Johnny has not quit. He hasn't bought into the AA program. He thinks he can control it.
Correct.
He thinks he can control it. He's still doing it. He did it kind of for a PR thing, kind of maybe just to say, no, I got this. I can totally balance these two worlds. You told me a long time ago he didn't actually do it, and guess what? It sure seems like he hasn't, and he's just going off on a rampage lately, just out in public and just getting wasted again all over the place. So highlight that for us. Recap us on what you heard and how that manifested itself over the past year.
It was what I saw personally firsthand. I mean, don't forget the guy lived in my apartment building. You know, I saw him multiple times. You know, he would be very low key when he was drinking, but he would be out drinking frequently, and you know, it was quickly spiraling out of control. I did see the Billy football picture. Unfortunately, I was not allowed to take it, but I did see it on someone's phone, genuine picture who had it. And that was when I realized, I said, you know what, this guy he's got a problem. He just has a problem. You know, showing up drunk during the season. You know, a lot of these guys I know personally, especially a lot of athletes, a lot of basketball players, they might go out to the clubs and stuff, but you do not see them drinking during the season, ever.
Really?
Not all of them, but a lot of these guys don't drink during the season. You'd be very surprised. A lot of them wait until the off-season to do it, or if they do drink, they drink very, very little. I'm not saying all, but, you know, another guy, I'm not even going to mention this one. He's still on the team, so I'm not even going to say it. But and I see him all the time. But
well, what about the guy that you see all the time that you're not going to name? You see him out, and
he had a horrible season last year. Former Pro Bowler had a horrible season last year. I think we can go. You know, he's on the defensive side of the ball, and it's not Joe Hayden. So you guys can put that one together.
Yeah, he didn't do so well this year.
That's all I'm going to say. It's not Joe Hayden, but it's someone else. But, you know, he's a former Pro Bowler defensively, had a great year 2 years ago. Last year was just absolutely horrendous. And you would, if you saw what he was doing on Friday nights, you would know why he sucked on Sunday. But, I mean, it's like, I don't know if these guys don't care. I don't know why, but, you know, Johnny's life is spiraling out of control. He has much bigger problems in football.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to face any jail time for his domestic dispute.
With his
girlfriend.
I wouldn't be so sure.
I mean, I would highly doubt it. He's got money. He'll have a good attorney. He'll be out of it. He'll do some community service.
Yeah. If there were video like there were with Ray Rice, it would be different.
But here's the thing. Will it happen again? I mean, did Ray Rice spend any time in jail? No.
All right.
I mean, when people have money, Brian, unless they're going to murder someone, and I'm sure you've been watching The People versus OJ, usually aren't going to spend time in jail. It just is. It's just how it is. And you have good representation. It just is what it is.
Yeah, I was actually on OJ's property a few years ago for an event. They bulldozed the house back, I think, in the late '90s. But
yeah, Rockingham got bulldozed.
Yeah, and they found a knife on the property. That was a weird story that came out last week. No,
OJ would never have been that stupid to bury it on the property.
I don't know. I'm gonna not give OJ a lot of credit on not being stupid at this point. I think he's proven that he can be very stupid.
I just don't think it's that. They still say that Robert Kardashian threw away the knife and threw away his clothes. I guess we'll never know because Rob Kardashian's dead and OJ will never admit it unless he just happened to write a book that said "If I Did It." But
if I did, yeah, that's. Oh my gosh! All right, that damn case.
But getting back to it, Manziel's life is spiraling out of control. He's been out every night in LA, and you know who's actually been with him a lot of the nights? Josh Gordon. Not just in Vegas. Josh Gordon was out with him in L.A.
Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. This is
Josh
not
Gordon's
good.
an idiot.
Oh, this is so bad. Explain that. Break that down.
I mean, I wasn't there. I mean, again, if I still lived in LA, odds are I would have at least seen him a couple of those nights because those are the places I would have gone to. But I mean, dude, when you're at partying every single night of the week during the off season, you've got a problem. I mean, he should be focusing his life on getting healthy and signing with another team in free agency. No team's going to sign him. It's idiotic.
No. You don't want to bring that cancer. You don't want to bring that
Johnny Manziel is
poison.
a cancer. I don't know if he'll ever play another down in the NFL. If he does, he's going to get serious rehab, prove himself for a long, long time. I don't care if it was Tom Brady. If Tom Brady was behaving like this and was this much of a nuisance and this much of a liability, he wouldn't be able to sign him. That's what I'm saying. Manziel's not even anywhere near the talent level of Tom Brady. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, nowhere even near it. And you think about how late in the round, that Tom Brady was drafted compared to how high the Browns picked him. I was saying maybe the Browns could.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When do you ever see an NFL quarterback ever go out and party like this and make stupid decisions? Ever like that? The only one I've ever seen out in public in a club was Colin Kaepernick, and he wasn't doing anything wrong.
Just chilling.
He had a table, wasn't doing anything wrong. Colin Kaepernick wasn't doing anything. He had a table. He's perfectly allowed to be at a club. Perfectly, Johnny Manziel sitting there drinking out of the bottle with his dumbass friends videotaping him.
Yeah, not the smartest thing to be doing if you're trying to restore your image.
It's one thing after another. I tell you these stories before they happen, and then you wind up hearing about them a week, 2 weeks, a couple days later. I mean, Brian, I told you a bunch of things.
And a lot.
Every single one of them is true.
They come through. They happen.
I don't make them up. I saw them firsthand, and I tell you, I go, it's going to be coming out in the next few days. Vault, and my roommate was there, witnessed it, has a picture of it, and goes and tells me, he goes, I'm telling you, he's like, Johnny, there's no way Johnny was able to make team flight this morning to Baltimore. This is a year ago. After he was already on IR. Or he said there's no way he went to practice. He goes, he was out until 3 a.m, hammered beyond belief. What do you know? 2 days later, they go, Manziel didn't show up for his treatment. Bam. There it is again. I mean, it's just one thing after another with this kid.
Yeah, it's a cycle. So, you got Hugh Jackson coming in, and you brought up Colin Kaepernick a second ago, and there's reportedly a deal in place if Kaepernick will rework his $19 million a year contract. What do you make of Colin to the Browns?
The Browns have the cap room anyway. I think he does need a rework of his contract, but the thing is, the Browns roster is talentless right now. I mean, if I'm the Browns, before I wouldn't have wanted to move Joe Thomas. I felt really bad. Now if I'm the Browns, I just lost 2 good pieces in the line. I mean, this team right now is staring at 0-16. You have my word on that one. They're staring at 0-16. They have no talent. They do have a little bit of talent, but they're not going to win any football games. I'll mark my words on that right now. They'll not win more than 1 or 2 football games. I'd be shocked if they win more than 1 or 2. If they're line in Vegas above 2.5, I'm going to take the under. And I will.
All right.
I do not see this team winning 2 football games this year. They are depleted of talent. And this is what they need. They need a complete and total rebuild. And the thing is, if they don't think their quarterback is in this draft, go draft a defensive end. You're going to have the first overall pick next year anyway.
Oh, you think that might be what it is to fully bottom out?
They know they will. They're going to have. There is no team in the league that's even close to being as bad as they are. Give me any team. You cannot tell me a team's anywhere close to being as bad as they are.
So are you saying that if Alex Mack and Mitchell Schwartz and Bademosi and Gipson and Benjamin all stayed, that they might have been too good to get the number 1 pick next year, or even then?
They might have won 3 or 4 games. Here's Browns were not. Here's the thing. They had a bad season last year. They had a lot of injuries. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you put last year's roster on the field and you had a healthy Joe Hayden. The team was actually healthy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You bring in a new coaching staff, and let's say they would have re-signed Travis Benjamin and signed Marvin Jones in free agency.
Right.
Okay. And you get a Josh Gordon back. Okay. Suddenly you've got your offensive line beefed up. They're fine going back to next year. You draft your quarterback at 2, or you draft whoever. I don't care what you draft. Okay. Then you've got your wide receivers are Josh Gordon, Travis Benjamin, and Marvin Jones. You've got one of the best and Gary Barnidge. You have arguably the best receiving core in the league at that point. If not top 3, top 5. Okay, your offense is suddenly going to produce. You can win some football games. Right there is a team that can win 8, 9 games. Instead, you're going for the 0-win route because you think you need a complete and total rebuild, which maybe you do. But, I mean, that's the route they're going on. I mean, but not doing the Browns any good and not re-signing your own talent. You know, they say you build through the draft. Well, where did you get Mitchell Schwartz in the draft? Where did you get Alex Mack in the draft? The Browns just had this a year ago, when they opted not to re-sign T.J. Ward, Buster Screen. When they were letting all these guys go they drafted that were actually talented and brought them wins. You know, Buster Screen is a valuable corner. You know, T.J. Ward just won a Super Bowl and had an interception in the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's weird that
you take a look at these guys that they let go. You need to maintain and re-sign your own draft picks and develop your own players. Getting rid of a talented right tackle who completely shut down Von Miller, and you put up over 30 points against that Denver Bronco defense this year. 30 points.
Well, you know what they were saying, that they offered him a deal, and they said, but it expires the minute free agency hits, and then he went around, shopped, he didn't get a better offer, he came back, and then they said, nope.
Anyway, the Browns should have re-signed him anyway. Alex Mack, again, is their own pick. Re-sign your own guys.
But it seemed like the Browns front office was trying to play hard ass. It's like they cut off their nose to spite their face.
I mean, what is Mitchell Schwartz losing out by going to Kansas City on $1 million a year? Okay. Mitchell Schwartz is also going to a valuable. He's going to be protecting Alex Smith. He's going to a playoff football team that just won 11 games last year. They're going to be better than they were a year ago. You know, they have a really good defense, a young defense who's really good, and an improving offense. So, congrats to Mitchell Schwartz. He's a good player. I give Mitchell Schwartz a lot of credit. And Alex Mack going to the Falcons, I give him a lot of credit too. He's going to a better team. And surprisingly, Tashaun Gipson wanted to win. Tashaun Gipson went to freaking Jacksonville to win.
I know.
Over Cleveland. That just proves how bad the Browns are. They're not a winning organization. They haven't developed a winning culture. And, you know, if they're going to go out with the old, you might as well just go and trade Joe Hayden. You might as well just go and trade Joe Thomas right now and cut Dante Whitner. That's what I would do tomorrow. Although, so you might as well keep Hayden. But if you can get a first rounder for Thomas at this point, just go. Because I feel bad for the guy. He doesn't deserve to keep playing on a losing football team.
I know. It is pretty rough. Hey, back to Colin Kaepernick, though. You think that's going to happen? And if so, do you think that's a smart move for the Browns?
I don't know what's going to happen, honestly. I really don't. I really don't.
They're saying a third-round pick.
With this organization, though, I really don't know what's going to happen. I don't. If I'm the Browns, I want to go and develop my own quarterback. I don't want Colin Kaepernick. I do and I don't. I think he'd be semi-exciting to watch, but I don't think he's going to bring us wins. I mean, look how well he did in San Francisco last year and the year before. He wasn't very good. You know, so it remains to be seen. I don't think Kaepernick's that good, though. But, you know. You
think Josh McCown another year and then pick up, you know. Who do you like at number 2? You don't really care? You don't any of the quarterbacks? I don't care
at this point. I like Carson Wentz. I mean, I haven't seen enough Carson Wentz, and I like Jared Goff. But do I think any of them are the best signal caller out there? No. I mean, do we have the next Andrew Luck? Probably not. But either way, wherever these two go in the draft, I guarantee you they're probably going to go and become winners. Both of them probably will be. I just don't know if it's going to be in Cleveland. Anywhere but Cleveland will become winners.
We are snake bitten.
It's sad to say, but the Browns are just such a joke of an organization. You know, they called me for season tickets the other day. I'm sitting there going, I'm going to piss away my money on season tickets. I can buy the last 5-6 games of the year for $3 a piece on StubHub. I'm not renewing season tickets.
But we put in a new billboard, but we upgraded a sound system. Okay. Our new jerseys. Uh-huh. Yeah, all right.
Exactly. I mean, they are such a train wreck of an organization.
Yeah, you know, and I'm not.
They're the laughing.
Yeah.
They're the laughing stock of the NFL. I mean, here's the thing: people give the Dolans a ton of crap for not spending. What about the Browns, who are consistently $30 and $40 million under the cap every year?
They made no moves in free agency this year. Nothing.
Even other years that they've let their own guys go. You know, they brought in guys. You know, I mean, the Browns have always been consistently almost 20 to 30 to 40 million under the cap every single year. The Browns get a break every time. I don't get it. You know, I'm actually looking forward to baseball season this year. I really am. I can give a shit about the Browns next year. I really don't.
You know,
I really don't
with
care about
Mitchell
the Browns.
Schwartz,
I will watch them.
With the Mitchell Schwartz situation, I am not confident in the new Browns ownership. They had Mitchell Schwartz back.
I'm not confident. Jimmy Haslam was his fourth coach. He had Pat Shermer. He had Chazinski. He had whatever his name was, Pettin. And we're in season number 5.
And he was under a criminal investigation.
Head coach.
What's that?
We're heading into season 5. We're heading into season 5.
Well, Hugh Jackson, didn't he turn? He turned around the Raiders. He really got them turned around.
I like Hugh Jackson a lot. I will give Hugh Jackson time. And I think the Browns, if they're smart, will give him time because this roster is depleted of talent. It's going to take a good 3 to 4 years to get this team to be an 8-win football team, unless somehow they miraculously get a great quarterback in a year and suddenly you can turn things around with a great quarterback. But the thing is, you need help around them. And the Browns do not have any help on the offensive line. They don't have any help anywhere. Wide receiver, their offense is going to be a train wreck. I feel bad for Josh McCown if he's got to line up behind center because he's going to get sacked 70 times.
Maybe we go out, and I said this throughout the week, I think, in the Unhappy Hour Sports Group, which, by the way, on Facebook, if you haven't connected with it, do a search for The Unhappy Hour. It's a private group, and as long as we can verify that you're a Cleveland Indians, Cavs, Browns, or Buckeye fan, we'll let you in. But we just had a public vote. We said, should we keep the group public or private?
Private.
And we said, yeah, let's just stay private. We don't. And there was a picture of like a mad dash on Black Thursday or Black Tuesday or whatever it is, the day after Thanksgiving, whatever, Black Friday, and everybody swarming underneath the security gates, and it said, "This is what'll happen as the Steeler fans invade our page if we make this public." And it's like, all right, fine, good point.
It's just it's just the Browns. They're such a train wreck of an organization. They can't seem to do anything right. It's one thing after another with this team. So
yeah, it kind of reminds me of George Costanza from Seinfeld when that whole series of events when he just kind of determined that his entire life is going poorly. So he's going to do the exact opposite of what his instinct tells him to do.
Yep.
And then his life turns around. It's like maybe the Browns should hire George Costanza to just not listen to a bum on the sidewalk who says draft Manziel. I just love when
he gets hired by the Yankees. And that's the episode where he actually gets hired by the Yankees when he goes to Steinbrenner. And he tells him what a bad owner he is. And I love when Jerry's just like, Ruth, Mantle, DiMaggio, Costanza.
I love that show. Man, I miss that. I wish it would come back. I've been enjoying the comedians in cars getting coffee, though. Have you happened to catch any of those?
I have watched that. The thing is, I can't stop laughing at the fact now. Just every time I watch Seinfeld now with Jackie Childs after watching The People versus O.J., he's like, it's egregious, it's preposterous, it's outrageous. Jackie Childs, like, I'm trying to put the cheese on. Like, he really is Johnny Cochran. I mean, this is just so funny, because he's always one of my favorite characters, and it's just so funny getting to watch it. Wow, it is funny, though. It really, really is funny.
Yeah, it's not funny being a Browns fan. We've been the laughing stock of the league for far too long. I mean, since '99. It's just insane.
If you look at this, though, look at teams that just suck for years, beyond years. The Arizona Cardinals, they were terrible for 30 years. They were bad. The Browns are approaching. Eventually, if you get the right system in place, if you notice, the Bidwells had always been a bad ownership. They'd owned the team forever, too. They finally took a step back, let management run the team. The Cardinals have not been a joke for the past, 8-9 years now.
Yeah, a legitimate franchise.
They've been a good football team since, they've been a decent team since 2007.
Yeah, most of Larry Fitzgerald's tenure there.
Yeah, they've been a pretty solid team, consistently 500 or in the playoffs. They have not been bad. They've had a couple of bad years, but they bounced back after. I mean, they seem to be a well-run organization now. I mean, you look at certain teams that have just notoriously lost for years. At least have some good years. The Browns are just such a joke.
I put it out on the Facebook group. I was getting at it earlier. I put it out in the group, and I kind of said, hey, can the Cleveland Browns enact the mercy rule? Can they call up Roger Goodell and call mercy and say, hey, I just want to draft all of the Ohio State Buckeyes this year. I want to take Cardale. I want to take Zeke. I want to take Bosa.
They'll all be busts if they go to the Browns. Let them go to Pittsburgh where they're going to be good.
I know. Thinking about like 6 foot. What is he? 6'6"? Cardale Jones. He's a big boy.
6'5" to 50.
Yeah.
By the way, I was watching the other day. I was watching ESPN the other day when I was in Boston. I was just like sitting there like going, wow. And I saw this. I was in the airport. That's what I was getting at. And I wanted to take a picture. When you walk through Boston's airport in the JetBlue terminal, you go through and they have all the championships, and not one period of time does Boston have more than 5 years where they didn't win a title.
Man.
Not since like the 1940s. There's like, I don't think there was one point where they had more than 5 years where one of their 4 professional teams didn't win a title. And I'm just sitting there like, I wouldn't kill just to have one of these banners. One in my lifetime. Just one. One banner.
I know. And not Joe Banner. We're not talking about Joe Banner. Yeah, we had one banner.
Maybe that was the banner we were, we're going to take one of these banners in our office, and it was Joe Banner. But the thing is, Joe Banner didn't run the team that poorly. I would take him back in a heartbeat.
I don't know. The Mitchell Schwartz non-signing does it for me. I am very concerned about this new leadership. There's no reason why you should not allow that player to come back and offer. Does it make your team better or worse?
No. What are they going to? They're sticking to their guns. Okay, we're going to be 0-16 now. We're not going to re-sign a right tackle, so we're going to have to force to take one in the first or second round of the draft. Yeah. Because we're holding to our principles. They are a joke of an organization. They're not going to be able to ever sign any free agents. They're a joke.
I know. Well, the only thing I'll say is this, and we'll wrap it up on this. The only other thing I would say is, let's give the new management a chance. The Browns didn't run the ball particularly well last year. There's a lot of things the Browns didn't do particularly well last year with Mack and with Schwartz. Maybe for what they were commanding in the free agent market, maybe they have a different plan and they want to build it a different way. But I've been a big proponent my whole life, if you're an expansion team or if you're the worst of the worst when it comes to the Browns, it is time to pretty much do nothing but draft offensive linemen and turn that from a weakness into the number one strength of your team.
That wasn't even a weakness last year, though.
I know. Come on, man. I'm trying to talk myself into something positive here.
You just lost 2 early draft picks in free agency. You lost the first and the second round pick because you didn't want to re-sign them. Give me a break.
Oh, but you know what? We did get, for next year, we did get compensatory picks in the 4th round, number 138, and 2 in the 5th.
Yeah, that'll make up for it. Yeah,
172 and 173. Yeah,
because the odds you acquire a starter in the 4th and 5th round are, 2%, 5%?
Actually, I'd be curious to see all those statistics. I wonder where we get those. To see in what round, what percentage likelihood that they're going to be.
They have them. I can find them and send them to you once I find them.
Yeah, if you can. I'd be very curious to see that. The Tom Brady's...
You don't let your talent walk away. Often you see good teams let their own talent walk away when they're not having cap problems. Never.
And we're so far under the cap. We're so far under. It just...
The Browns have no excuse for not retaining their own free agents, and it just sickens me the other day when I'm sitting there watching this, and I was like, this is a joke. They're a joke of an organization. I just want them to surprise me. But I'm going to sit here and just rip them until they start winning because they're never going to win. I'm always like, I want to give this organization a chance. I want to let them do, but I'm not giving them a chance because I don't care anymore. They don't deserve a chance. They suck. You got the guy who was running the Jacksonville Housing Authority up until 2 years ago, and the vice president of the New York Mets, and the former GM of the Dodgers running your organization. So, shows what they know about football.
It was like a prison break on the first day of free agency. People were like, "Oh my God, I can leave Cleveland." It was a prison break. It was pretty foul. It was like the news got worse and worse and worse.
This is like Major League.
It is like Major League. Exactly. That's exactly what I've been thinking of. And it's just like, because for a while people were wondering, is Haslam trying to tank the team or do something and then take him out to Los Angeles? This carpetbagger from Tennessee comes up and buys our team. Is he just going to move him to L.A.?
No, they were never going to let that happen. Their league wouldn't let that happen anyway, so it's not going to happen. The league would have never let that happen. They would have stepped in.
Well, hell, at this point, you almost want to see them go. They're that bad.
Yeah, it is. Go to St. Louis and give us a new team. Just give us a new team.
Yeah, can we do that? Can we do that expansion thing again? Can we get a redo on that?
They basically are an expansion team at this point. Get us a new owner and get us a bunch of new stuff. They are a joke. So we'll end it there for tonight.
Yeah. Well, luckily, Zach. Luckily, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers, and if they can play up to the level they're capable of, like they did against the Clippers today, winning by 24 points. I mean,
if the Cavs win, I honestly couldn't care less about the Browns next year. If the Cavaliers win it, I won't even be upset. You could just sit there. The Browns could lose every game 58-0. They'll still be dancing because the Cavaliers won their first championship.
On cloud 9 all season long. Just watching the Browns spinning their tires in the mud. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's going to be a fun run. What are we, a month away from the playoffs, Zach? About a month away from the NBA playoffs. So,
about a month.
That's when things get geared up, and that's when it's really going to kick in for us. So, we'll have some time in the next few weeks and the next couple months of the playoffs to continue talking about something positive. We'll end our Browns chatter for now. So, you have any final words on your way out the door today, Mr. Baris?
Not much. I saw Steve Martin the other day in Boston, though. I thought it was pretty cool walking out of my hotel.
Steve Martin. Did he have his... he plays the banjo, right? He won a Grammy for it or something.
Very good at it, too. Go watch The Jerk.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I thought that was pretty cool. I saw Steve Martin the other day walking out of my hotel in Boston. I thought it was pretty cool on Friday.
This will make Greg Moore very happy because he's always curious when the Zak Baris... celebrity sightings. He loves that segment of the show.
And then a couple more, actually, I saw Rob Schneider in Heinen's in my building. He was performing at Polarities. I saw him before the show at Heinen's. I was like, hey, dude, it's Rob Schneider. Is it? And I was like, yeah, it's 100% him.
Yeah, it was
the Zak Baris celebrity eye is always very good.
I'm trying to remember if I saw him on your timeline or if I saw him on somebody else's, but someone else, I think it was a Cleveland comic got a picture with him.
I don't think I posted on my timeline. I just saw him at Heinz, though, but I didn't say anything to him, but it was 100% him. I was 100% sure.
Excellent. All right, well, we'll keep it rolling for Zak Baris celebrity sightings, and maybe on next week's episode we'll talk with LA Laker fans.
Did you ever watch South Park?
Yeah, well, I mean, of course.
Do you remember the one where they had the super school news and they had Butters with the celebrity sightings outside of the school?
Right.
Outside of the school. I thought I saw Sigourney Weaver, but it was just a dead horse.
The celebrity sightings with Zak Baris. Yeah, it'll be a brand new show. It'll be a spin-off of this one. All right, cool. Well, hey, Zach, thanks for joining us again today. I'm glad we were able to finally pick the right day.
Thanks again, as always, Brian.
Absolutely. No, well, this is going to be a fun season. This might be the one that ends the turmoil for Cleveland fans who have not had a championship to celebrate since 1964. This Cavs team has a chance.
We'll know in 3 short months.
Absolutely.
We'll see how it goes the next 90 days.
All right, cool. Well, hey, you have a great night. We'll talk again soon, Zach. Take care.
Thanks, Brian.
There he goes, everybody. Zak Baris. Make sure you're following him on Twitter at ZBaris. That's ZBaris. So yes, the Unhappy Hour. We've been doing this show for a while. Make sure you're linked up with us. Find that group on Facebook, the Unhappy Hour. Do a search. Request to join our private group, and if we can confirm you're a Browns, Indians, Cavs, or Buckeye fan, we're going to let you in. And it's a lot of great stuff. It's one of my favorite things about the New American Media is that group. It's fantastic. Breaking news, funny insight, lots of venting. You're going to enjoy it. So subscribe, youtube.com/The New American Media. On Twitter, we're at American_media_. Instagram, definitely, we're rocking a strong Instagram game. Just do a search for The New American Media. So for everybody out there in the TNAM radio network, I just want to say I appreciate you. I love you. We'll talk again soon. Go Indians, go Cavs, go Browns, go Buckeyes. Peace.
And this is John B. Wells reminding you that not only is Brian Engelman a cool guy, and not only is the NewAmericanMedia.com a very cool platform, but here's a cool idea for you, too. Are you alone? Not really. Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? You do. Of course you do. Everybody does. One or the other, maybe even both. You know, there are a lot of dogs and cats that are at shelters right now, and if somebody doesn't take them home, they're going to wind up euthanized. That's a nice way of saying they're going to be killed, because there's simply not enough room. I guarantee it, the best dogs and the best cats, the best pets, come from shelters. There's something about dogs and cats. They know. They know where they are. You walk through one of them, and certainly at least one is going to look at you and go, I wish you'd take me home. I'm in hell. Please take me out of here. It'll be the best thing that you ever did for your soul. You'll feel good about it. And not only that, but you have a friend for life. Doesn't matter if you got money, you don't have money. Well, it doesn't make any difference to a dog or cat. All they need is the sound of your voice and maybe even the stroke of your hand, and they're fine. Maybe a little food every once in a while. The sweetest sound that those pets ever hear is your voice. Think it over and adopt a cat or a dog from a local shelter today. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did.